Hi, are you heading off to a conference or other business activity and need to enter a travel authorization? I'll walk you through all of the steps. Before we begin, it might be helpful if you download the Travel Authorization Guide created by the Customer Resource Center, which has step-by-step directions that you can follow. You can get the guide by going to the CRC website at crc.sdcoe.net. From there, click PeopleSoft Resources, select Guides and Job Aids, then scroll to the Travel and Mileage section. Here you can download the guide. Now, let's review the basic process. Before you travel, you'll need to create a requisition in PeopleSoft with the estimated costs of travel for the airfare, lodging, registration, rental car, and so on. Enter the suppliers, that is, the person or company providing payment, and the accounting lines or budget. Attach any necessary documentation, like a registration form, then submit for approval. Here's what it looks like. Your manager will then need to approve this requisition. Next, go on your trip. After you travel, open the approved requisition from before and edit it. Revise the estimated costs to the actual costs. Attach the necessary receipts and any documentation and submit for approval. Your manager will then need to approve this requisition. From there, the requisition will be routed to accounts payable so you can be reimbursed for any item for which you were designated as the supplier. Some staff members, like administrative assistants, may enter travel on behalf of other staff members as long as they're set up with proper access. Now, here are 6 terms you should be aware of. Requisition. This is the order you submit in PeopleSoft for travel authorization and reimbursement. Lines are the line items on the requisition. Each line can have its own supplier and budget attached to it. Items. These are the travel items that you add to the requisition for authorization and reimbursement. Airfare, lodging, meals, and conference registration are examples of items. Each item goes on a separate line. In the guide, there's a list of all the possible travel items you can add to the rec. The requester is the staff member who's doing the travel. The supplier is the name of the staff member who's making payment and will need reimbursement. In most cases, the requester matches the supplier. Just note that the supplier might be American Express or another vendor. There's a field called Stat. When you enter or verify your budget, make sure the Stat field is entered correctly. For travel within California, verify that this is 001. For travel outside of California, enter 002. This is an important field because it's tied to routing for approvals on travel and mileage requisitions. Ready for the step-by-step instructions? Let's show you how. Before you travel, you need to create a requisition for travel authorization and enter the estimated costs and attach necessary documents, like a conference registration form. Go to the PeopleSoft Employee Self-Service website. Log in with your user ID and password. Your user ID is your employee ID without hyphens. Your password is the first 4 of your last name in caps, plus the last 4 of your social security number. Navigate to Main Menu, Manage Requisitions. This will open the screen in a new window. Click Create New Requisition, the link at the bottom left of the screen. This will take you to the requisitions screen. In the Favorites area, click More, the link at the bottom of the Favorites list. Click the gray triangle to the left of the group called Travel. This will expand the group and show you all of the items associated with travel. Scroll down the page and click the checkboxes next to the items that you want to add to the travel requisition. In this example, we will select 8 items to add to the cart: airplane, taxi, rental car, lodging, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and registration. Scroll to the bottom of the screen and click Add. Make sure you click Add only one time. This puts the items in your shopping cart shown at the top of the screen. Verify that you have the correct number of lines in the cart. If necessary, you can click the link next to the shopping cart icon to review the order. Click Checkout. Now you will need to name the requisition and enter the requester. In the requisition summary area, type the business activity in the requisition name field. This field has a 30-character limit. The requester is the staff member traveling. If you are entering this for another staff member's travel, set the requester to the name of that staff member. To select a different name, click the magnifying glass. In this example, the requester is being changed from Lori Freetrout to Belinda Pavlik. If this is for your own travel, the requester field should already display your name and you should not need to do anything. However, if you do change requesters, a message will appear about changing the default settings. Now you need to enter the estimated costs. The quantity is the cost. For example, if the estimated cost of the airfare is $450, key in 450 for transportation airplane. The 450 will convert to $450. When you begin, the cart summary will display a low dollar amount, like $8. This is based on the number of items you selected on the previous screen. The amount will change as you enter the estimated costs. When you're done, the total amount will be calculated. If you ever need to add more items, click the orange button, Add More Items. You will go back to the previous screen where you can select the desired item and click Add. For more information about the meal reimbursement rates, please refer to the Internal Business Regulations. Next, you need to enter the supplier for each line. The supplier is the person making the payment who will eventually be reimbursed. In most cases, the requester matches the supplier. However, the supplier might be American Express or another vendor. There are two ways to do this, by mass changing multiple lines or line by line. We're going to show you how to do a mass change. First, select the checkbox for each line that has to have the same supplier, like Belinda, for example. There's a Select All checkbox at the bottom of the lines. Let's click Select All, then deselect Line 1, since the Line 1 supplier will be set to American Express and not Belinda. Click Mass Change, the link at the bottom right. Enter the supplier ID of the traveler. You can click the magnifying glass, then search for the supplier by clicking Find and clicking the desired supplier ID. When you select it, it will show the ID in the field. Then click OK. If you see a Distribution Change Options window, select All Distribution Lines, the first option, and click OK. You should then see the supplier field mass entered for all of the lines. Here we can see Belinda's name next to all of the selected lines. Now we will complete Line 1 by setting the supplier to American Express. Click the Details icon on the right side of the screen. In the window that appears, scroll down and enter the supplier ID. You can click the magnifying glass to search for it. Click OK. Verify that the supplier is entered for that line. For any line that needs an attachment added, like a conference registration form, click the Comments Add icon. Notice that the talk bubble icon does not have a paperclip on it yet. In the window that appears, select Show at Voucher. This is really important. This ensures that the document that you attach will be shown to accounts payable. Click Add Attachments. Click Browse and navigate to the document, then click Open. Click Upload. You will see the attached file. Double check that you selected Show at Voucher, then click OK. Notice that the talk bubble icon now has a paperclip on it to indicate that there's a comment or attachment. Now enter or verify the budget. You cannot save a requisition if the budget is missing or invalid. The budget for each line is tucked away under these gray arrows. Expand the first gray triangle next to a line to reveal the shipping line, which you can ignore. Then expand the second gray triangle to see the accounting lines. The budget information is here on the different tabs. There are two ways to enter the budget, by mass changing multiple lines or line by line. We're going to show you how to mass change accounting lines for multiple lines. Select the checkbox for each line that has the same budget. There's a Select All checkbox at the bottom. Click Mass Change, the link at the bottom right. In the Accounting Lines area, enter the budget information. On the Chart Fields 1 tab, scroll to the right to see all of the fields. Now, this is important. Click the Details tab. There's a very important field called Stat. For travel within California, enter 001. For travel outside of California, enter 002. This is an important field because it is tied to routing for approvals on travel and mileage requisitions. Click OK. If a distribution change window appears, select All Distribution Lines, the first option, and click OK. The budget will be applied to the selected lines. If you need to enter a budget line by line, please refer to the guide. Finally, enter the date of travel and the approval justification. In the Requisitions Comments box, type pertinent details, including the dates of travel. Be sure to click Shown at Voucher. In the Approval Justification box, type the justification for this requisition. Scroll to the bottom of the page. Click Save and Submit. You will be taken to a confirmation screen. Make note of the requisition ID. You will need it in Part B. And this requisition will be sent to your manager for approval. Your manager must approve this before you can take your trip. Now, let's move on to Part B. After you travel, open the approved requisition from Part A and edit it. Revise the estimated costs to the actual costs. Attach the necessary receipts and documentation, then submit for approval. After you log back in, navigate to Manage Requisitions. If you entered this on behalf of someone else, change the requester field to that person's name. Find the requisition that you submitted before you traveled. It will be approved. For the desired requisition, select Action, Edit, then click Go. Then click OK. For each line, revise the quantity to the actual cost. For example, if you estimated that the airfare was $450 and it's actually $482, change this amount. Revise the amounts for all applicable lines. For each line, attach the necessary documentation, like receipts. Remember, scroll to the right and click the Add icon. Don't forget to click Show at Voucher. Click Add Attachments. Click Browse, navigate to and select the desired document, then click Open. Click Upload. You will see the attachment listed. Double check that you clicked Show at Voucher, then click OK. After you enter the actual costs and attach the necessary documentation, scroll to the bottom and click Save and Submit. You will be taken to the confirmation screen. Remember, your manager needs to approve this requisition. You did it! After your manager approves the requisition, it will be routed to accounts payable so you can be reimbursed for any item for which you are designated as the supplier.